of resignation, not resignation. Secondly,
I
the commission is still full.
I think we shall not interrogate a document submitted in that way. If the member has the document, can inform us of probably what happens there, but we must receive it formally. And that's why we seek to understand the whereabouts of the chairperson, who probably could speak to any information that is out there, including all about that particular document about resignation. However, we pick interest and concern, and it further requires us to ascertain the whereabouts of the chairperson, so that we substantiate whether the information of resignation is true or false, and two, if it's true, why she is still in office. But for fairness, we are still interrogating and trying to establish why she's missing on this big delegation of the Uganda Human Rights Commission. Was there any member left before I turn to the witnesses?
Chair, I am a firm believer in leadership and leaders. And the fact that we seem to see, or we know now, there is a confusion as a trickle-down effect on even the reports that we are going to look at. So it is my thinking that we first handle the leadership issues, because they have an impact not just on this report, but also on the core mandate of the commission itself. No wonder we are seeing what we are seeing in what they are supposed to be in charge of because of leadership. Thank you.
Honorable Kim, then we come to
information. Chairman, I wanted to inform him. I think the reports we're handling are for the other year, while the commission was actually working well. So the ones which will be affected mostly are these ones now, after 9th of, when you had your last meeting, 9th of March. So these ones we are dealing with 2024. They have no escape.
Yes. Honorable Kim, I want to conclude and return here.
One against many, or many against one. This is what we are observing. However, I may have the view that it's not good to proceed interrogating the report or handling the report when the chairperson is not here. Is a very substantive person in the commission. And two, we have not established whether that person refused to come or not. So I propose that we give an opportunity. We give an opportunity to find ways of reaching out to the chairperson and see that she appears in the next sitting, if possible. When she refuses, then the committee can devise means to see how to proceed with the matters. I thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, mine goes to the accounting officer. Because at first I remember when you were asking him whether the chairperson was aware about this engagement, he wasn't clear. I'm aware that the invitations were sent to their offices last week, if I'm not mistaken. The same person is saying that he saw the chairperson on Monday. Remember, we were supposed to meet on Tuesday, yesterday. I expect him, as the accounting officer, to must have engaged the chairperson on today's engagement. Before we even go further, can we get to know whether the accounting officer took his responsibility to communicate to the chair on today's engagement? Don't even waste our time, because at first he was dilly-dallying. Then after some time, he's saying that he saw the chairperson on Monday. Can we get to know whether he took time to notify the chair, who was not in office before, about today's engagement?
But at the extreme end, then I'll first pause there. Let that meetings and workshops alone for the previous year were at 3.1 billion. Meaning that a lot of money is accounted for under the umbrella of meetings. And we are surprised to hear that these meetings don't actually sit. Of course, we shall interrogate the whole year, the 2024-2025. But you can see the concerning trend of interactions and meetings. And it is also possible that much as they don't sit, I don't think it is only the chairperson who is budgeted for these meetings, equally the commissioners and the other staff members. So we shall have to interrogate the details. And in the circumstances, before I turn here, there are some colleagues who have joined us. Where is the moving microphone? Just to you are in acting capacity as a secretary to the commission, to the Human Rights Commission. But needless to say, you introduce yourself as the accounting officer. Members have raised concerns. Before we give a ruling and guidance on these matters, equally the commissioners alluded to some other tasks you ought to do. For example, I heard that you are supposed to remind or constitute these meetings. We try to clarify in line with the absence of the chairperson of the commission. Have you done your role as the accounting officer? What have you done? And what will be your quick response to all these concerns raised?
Very much, Honorable Chair, that I was not clear. With due respect, Honorable Chair, I was very clear at the very beginning, and at no point have I dilly-dallied. Secondly, there is a member who asked about the absence of the chair who has been in charge. It is on record the chairperson took leave from 2nd April up to the 29th of May. And throughout those 2 months, the Honorable Member of the Commission, Honorable Lamek Sapito Mara, was acting chairperson, and he was directing the affairs of the Commission until the substantive returned. So the activities that were being conducted were duly authorized under the leadership of the acting chairperson. Second, on the issue of commission meetings, Honorable Chair, even the letter inviting us to your honorable committee is to the effect that the committee leadership has instructed the meetings of the commission are chaired by the commission, by the chairperson. I cannot convene a meeting where the chairperson has not instructed me. I don't have the powers to chair that meeting. So, in essence, there is no way I could have convened a meeting in the absence of the chairperson. And without...
Leave alone the absence. I believe the rules and conduct of meeting there is room for commissioners to choose from among themselves for some matters.
Honorable Member of the Commission, Crispin, alluded to this earlier on. I'm alive to the fact that some entities, like for instance the Corporate Entities Commission Act, it defines when meetings should take place, number of meetings, and etc. In our case, it is silent, so it is just practice. It is a matter of practice. It is not indicated anywhere in the UHRC Act, neither the Constitution or anywhere. But the UHRC Act only talks about meetings of the Commission. But frequency and etc., it is silent.
Maybe just to pick interest.
Yeah.
Because your commission has a core mandate on human rights. And one of the commissioners mentioned that the tribunals that ought to hear people's complaints does not sit. According to you as accounting officer, when did the tribunal last sit?
Honorable Chair, I'm lucky my neighbor here is the director responsible for the tribunal sittings.
Please allow her to answer.
Yeah, she can answer that.
Thank you, accounting officer. Thank you, chair and members. The tribunal sessions of the commission last sat in December 2025. because that is the last time that we had a budget to be able to constitute tribunal sessions to be had.
Yeah?
December 2025.
December 2025.
25.
And how frequent do they sit?
That is a procedural matter depending on the release that we get per quarter. We plan for tribunal sessions. On average, we have 3 sessions per quarter where the funds are available. But we've not had a release for tribunal sessions from January to June.
And you have tribunal guidelines and
yes,
regulations?
we have tribunal, we have rules of procedure. They do not state how often tribunal sittings.
They are silent on
must
sittings?
No, they are silent.
But on record, just off record, away from the audit report, to your knowledge, how many cases, what is the backlog you have now occasioned by these inadequacies in sittings?
The backlog that we've reported in our annual report of 2025 stands at about 255 cases. Those are cases that are older than two years and beyond. Those are the ones we consider backlog. So those are 255 currently that are pending hearing, and we have ongoing cases of about 500, if I may get the exact numbers.
500. What is the among out of these in estimates in terms of years? When you say backlog, 2 years and above. Now the longest cases filed which haven't been handled, how long? Please estimate to us, or be accurate on record.
The oldest case that I can remember off head currently is a case of 2009, because we have progressively been handling backlog. That's why.
Those are how many years?
Yes.
20 what?
Yes.
So
that is progressively we have, because we had cases as old as 2005. So over that time, with the tribunal sessions that we have had, we are progressively handling those cases. So that currently the oldest case that we have pending hearing is at around 2009.
Now, those are how many years?
About 17.
How long have you been in office?
I have been in office since April 2025 as Director Legal.
Have you made efforts to ensure that these older cases are handled and disposed of?
Yes, Chair and members. With one of the challenges we had was that beyond the issues of not having a substantive chair previously, we had a challenge with resources, with a resource envelope. So since we received a supplementary budget in financial year 23-24 and substantively in 24-25, we have progressively been having tribunal sessions to handle the backlog. That's why this backlog has come down to 255 as at that date, from 926 previously.
Honorable Bruce, you had something quick?
There is this statement I'm continuing to hear about resources. I've perused through their documents, Chair,